Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. If you'll please stand for our invocation and pledge.
Let us pray. Lord, thank you for this wonderful city that you've blessed us with. Please be with us as we start off a new year. Please be with those that are not here tonight. Lead and guide this council to continue making this city great. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Keeling, the roll, please.
Carrie Hodge, Ward 1. Here. Jay Stepp, Ward 2.
Here.
Louis Tonsmeyer, Ward 3. Lindsay McDaniel, Ward 4. Diane Tate, Ward 5.
Here.
Taff Wren, Ward 6 elect.
Here.
You got the first question right.
Yeah.
Welcome to TAF. Our first order of business is the approval of our council meeting minutes from our December 17th meeting. Council, you've had these well in advance of this evening, and so you will have the opportunity to make any edits, or if they are fine as they are, Chair will entertain a motion.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And technicality, since there's three, I guess I need to vote.
Yes.
All right, there you, the minutes are approved unanimously. Now enough of that. Connie, I will turn it over to you for the swearing in of our elected officials.
Mayor, please stand and raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
I'm Matt Santini.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Georgia, that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the city of Cartersville, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor, so help me God.
I will.
Thank you very much. Taff, if you would, Jace, will please stand. Raise your right hand. Be nice. I state your name. Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Georgia, that I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and the ordinances of the city of Cartersville, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of city council, so help me God.
I will.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Taff, welcome aboard. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to ask council to add an item to the agenda. Chair will entertain a motion to add that item.
Move.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Item is added. This is relative to an ordinance that was handed out prior to the meeting. And Mr. Archer, do you want to talk about that?
No, but I will.
You're getting paid whether you talk or not, so go ahead.
Yeah, there's been a suggestion that we change the ordinance having to do with the advisory board for Parks and Recreation. This is the only board that we have that has a term limit in it. And I'm afraid, and I'm embarrassed to tell you that I think that got in there because Keith copied that out of some book and left it in there. But we don't need term limits. And so the suggestion has been made to do an amendment to that you have in front of you that will say there are no term limits for those appointments. And I recommend you approve this at first reading.
Okay. Is there any discussion or need for clarification on that?
So, David, this does require two readings.
It does.
Yeah. So we'll count this as the first reading. If there's no other discussion, we won't vote on it tonight. We'll vote on it at our next meeting I guess that'd be January the 21st. Okay. Next item of business is appointments to the Recreation Advisory Board. Mr. Anderson.
Yes, sir, Mayor and Council. This is for Parks Recreation Advisory Board. We had 4 that were affected from this year's elections. The mayor's choice, which the mayor has chosen to appoint Rick Koloff as his representative. Taff Wren has chosen to appoint Ty Mitchum as his representative. Lindsay McDaniels has chosen to reappoint Joey Hill as his representative, and pending the outcome of this, the ordinance, Jay Stepp would be appointing Patrick Jones for his appointment. And I, again, love working with this group. They are very dedicated to the Parks and Recreation Department. They were instrumental in helping with the park bond, and each and every one of these are involved in our program some way or another, and they are needed.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any discussion or questions for Greg?
Mayor, the motion includes subject to.
If you put that in the motion, I'd like for it to have that.
If there's no discussion, I make a motion to approve these and Patrick Jones, subject to the second reading and the passing of the Parks and Rec ordinance.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. The Planning and Commission appointees, Mr. Menino.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The terms of 4 of our Planning Commission members has expired or will be expiring January 31st. The mayor's appointment, Lamar Pendley, is being asked to be, or has said he would continue to serve if reappointed, and the mayor is reappointing Lamar Pendley. Jay Stepp's appointment, Stephen Smith, is up for, or will be reappointed. Harrison Dean will be reappointed by Lindsay, and our final appointment will be Taft Wren. He'll be appointing Jeffrey Ross as a new Planning Commission member. With that, we recommend approval of these appointments.
Thank you. Any questions for Randy?
Pursuant to policy, you've got a completed application in front of you for the new one. That's what I said.
Gotcha. All right. If there's no discussion, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Next item, please, Randy.
Thank you again. As you're aware, we have to do an annual update to our CIE portion of the comprehensive plan based on the fact that the city has an impact fee ordinance in place. As you're aware, we don't currently collect impact fees because we have amended our fee schedule to 0, but we still have that ordinance in place, and because of that, we'll continue to do this in case of the fact that we want to re-implement that fee schedule. We were required to hold a public hearing. We held a public hearing on this on November 5th, and with that, that allowed us to transmit a draft CIE and short-term work program to the Department of Community Affairs and the Northwest Georgia Regional Development Center. With that, we got we've got input from our different departments who have items on the short-term work program and CIE, and we made the required changes. There will be one additional change that's not in your book tonight. We'll be putting in the Parks and Rec projects that have come forward because of the Parks bond. And with that, we'd like your permission to approve a resolution so we can submit the final copy to the Department of Community Affairs and the Northwest Georgia Regional Development Center.
Okay, thank you. Questions?
Mayor, just one. Randy, we did talk about this during the work session. Under Parks and Rec, anticipated funding source, it won't say general fund, it will say,
It will be
say referendum?
based on the projects that Greg has on his list. His funding sources will change from what's on there. That was a year or two old document that you have
For
there.
the rec one, you mean?
Yeah, the rec stuff has not
It's
changed in
general
that
fund.
document.
It would be general
Yeah,
fund,
it would be.
okay.
So Greg's going to amend the projects and so forth based on what was approved.
I just didn't know how that was listed, Sam. Okay, general.
Yeah, and I guess on this, common sense would dictate, well, if you're not gonna do it, why don't you just roll it off? We got into some front-end costs of putting the thing together, and that's what we're trying to avoid in the instance that we ever wanna redo it, right?
Correct.
Okay.
If, and what Sam's saying is, if we just did away with this, we would have to go through probably a 12 to 18-month process to reinitiate the ordinance that we have in place. We just want to leave the ordinance in place, and so we'll do the annual update until we choose, or council chooses
I
to.
just shared that because I asked the question. That's what you told me.
All right, any other questions for Randy? Any discussion? If not, a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Anderson, you're back up here, I believe. Pettit Creek Trail.
Yes, sir, Mayor, this is a memorandum of understanding with Georgia Department of Transportation. This is pertaining to our Pettit Creek Trail Phase 3. which this grant was, we applied for and received this grant in 2010. In 2011, City Council signed the initial MOU, and because of having to work with CSX Railroad, they have
Are they in protest outside? Is that what's?
yeah, they knew I was wanting to talk to them. But they have, I guess, approved our first option, which was an at-grade crossing. But to do that, the city would have to close 3 other crossings. Our second option we're working on now with with Southland, and it will call for us to go up under the pilings of the Pettit Creek and Nancy Breach Trestle where the railroad crosses. And anyway, I recommend this MOU with Georgia DOT. And this is the Pettit Creek Trail. You can see at the top the red line, the one that's running parallel. That is the continuation of the sidewalk that connects to downtown. It's about a 2,400-foot sidewalk. The red starts at the north end. That is at the end of the existing Pettit Creek Trail Phase 2, which is on the north side of Mission Road. So the red line is the Pettit Creek Trail Phase 3. We'll be coming down and we'll be going on the east side of Pettit Creek. There where you can see where the creek comes in. In this direction right here, they'll be going up under the trestle is our next option. Anyway, this is Pettit Creek Trail Phase 3. Also on the list for these park system, the other trail grant. Hey, let's do the first one. No, the other first one. There you go. This is Pettit Creek Trail Phase 2. It's a completed portion. Trailheads at Goodyear Clubhouse, ends at Mission Road. The next one we just discussed, Pettit Creek Trail Phase 3. And then the last one, Rebecca, is the Leak Mounds Trail, which once these 2 trails are completed, that will complete the city's thing of networking our park systems, connecting our sports complex to Dillinger Park and the Sandsmith Park, which was a goal of city councils back in the early 2000s. So anyway, I recommend this MOU DOT. Thank you.
Hey, I've got a question. Is it going to be more expensive, Greg, to go under the trestle versus rail?
Well, the least expensive would have been the at-grade crossing.
Yeah.
But
If you factor in the cost of closing down 3 other crossings, it may very well be less expensive.
yeah,
But
but we still have to cross the railroad at 2 locations there, the spur at Mission Road, but because it is adjacent to the street, that's not, CSX is able to work. I mean, of course, there's a cost involved, but they're able to work with us. But, you know, the trestles have been difficult.
Any other questions or discussion? Chair will entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve, Mayor.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Hasselbrock.
Afternoon, Mayor and Council. We have been approached by Schottenkirk Honda, who is building out on Main Street, and they've approached us to put a LED, it's a light emitting diode lighting system in. And the system is costlier, but it's more efficient. And we put the lights out for bid, and we got 10-year warranties on all the bidders. So that tells you about the life and the efficiency of the lighting system. And because it is more expensive, the customer was willing to pay some upfront cost, and it helped us to stay within our revenue to expense ratio of 3 to 1. So that's one of our departmental goals, to keep costs down. And the The electric department, like I said, put this out for bid, and we're asking that council approve the low-cost bidder of Stewart Irby Company for GE lighting at the price of $91,724.75.
Any questions or discussion?
What kind of lighting is currently there? I mean, what's the cost for that?
The older system,
Right.
What we'd put in would be approximately half of that value. And you can go in Home Depot and sort of, if you bought any LED bulbs, you know the price of it is
Yeah.
much more expensive, but it's it's going to last longer.
How long typically do the lighting system we have in place now last?
We probably the bulbs and the components of the light start to wear out in about 3 to 4 to 5 years. So it's we're projecting what the industry findings are. This type of light will you'll do a lot less maintenance. When we roll a truck to fix a light, it costs us about $120 to roll a truck.
So substantially less maintenance, 10-year warranty, and I guess total length of the bulbs themselves will last longer.
Yes, much longer.
It's less cost to the owner out there. You
Right.
talked too about, we had a discussion about coverage of it as compared to the old lights.
Yeah, you use much less less fixtures also because of the uniformity of the light. This is the same type lighting system. This will be our first project, LED project, and it's the same lights that you see down at the Emerson Ball Sports Complex. It's a cleaner, and it's desired by automobile manufacturers or sales places or the dealerships because you get a truer, more uniform light.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? If not, a motion is in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next item, please, Don.
Okay, this item is for the Kroger Main Street project. Not only is it the Kroger, but it's the out parcels associated with the Kroger. And this we're asking to purchase the cabling that's necessary to provide power for this project. And this is the cable is listed on the ECG annual bid. So ECG, Electric Cities of Georgia, has already bid these items out, and we just take their low-cost bidder on this. And their low-cost bidder was Stewart C. Irby for a total price of $51,523.80, and this is a budgeted item.
Any questions on this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, sir. Any other business that needs to come before council this evening? If there are none, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Go play a little bit.
Didn't get a harumph out of that guy.